Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing a little update video on Harley. If you don't know who Harley is, he is our pet hedgehog that we've had. He is kind of the co-star of Kitten Meets Hedgehog, a video that we did that kind of went viral, which was awesome.
16 million views.
Yep. Harley is 3 years old, and up until recently, he's been super healthy.
But recently he did have a eye injury and we had to take him to the vet. We wanted to just talk about this just because we were trying to look for information about it online and there wasn't too much. So we thought it'd be helpful for anyone that does have a hedgehog, as apparently eye injuries aren't rare with hedgehogs.
Yeah, surprisingly.
They can happen, and they do happen. To begin, one day when I was about to leave for work, I was walking past Harley's cage and I saw that his food hadn't really gone down, same with the water, and there was a little bit of like red substance. I thought it was maybe rust on his water spout. So when I got home from work, I'm like, I have to check this out. So I got him out to like give him a bath, and I noticed there was some blood on his quills, like even when he was up in a ball like this, so I knew it wasn't good. And then I got him into the bath, and then I noticed his, what are you doing, Harley? And I noticed that his eye was obviously injured. It was, usually his eyes are like round and beady, but the one left eye was kind of like flattened. You could tell it was scraped, and there was blood around his eye. I didn't know what to do. I was kind of freaking out and trying to do some research about what it was. And basically the research said that hedgehogs and other small mammals like rats, mice, hamsters, they have small eye sockets, so they easily get eye injuries. So hedgehogs can get them because of a couple different reasons. If they have a brain tumor, which is common with hedgehogs, it can actually push out their eyes, which I don't think it was the case this time. They can get something in their eye and they will physically scratch their eye to get it out. And in this case, they can like run into things and injure their eyes that way. And I think that's what happened this time, was the water spout, but the vet doesn't really know. We don't know for sure, but we just know his eye was injured, damaged, and not
doing well.
not doing well, not savable.
So we decided to take him to a vet near us. The vet that we went actually specializes in exotic pets, so they know all about hedgehogs, which is great.
And you're going to have to look that up. You can't just go to any vet, Bill.
Because I'm sure not a lot of vets have actually done surgeries on hedgehogs.
Yeah.
So we took him to the vet in Toronto, quite near us. And it was kind of actually a relief that when we took him to the vet, that the vet actually wasn't too surprised. She said, this is common and it's definitely fixable.
Yeah. She was like, oh, I've done a bunch of these. So that kind of calmed us a bit. But I did want to walk you through like the expenses at the vet, because I know that's a big concern when you're going to a vet.
Just so that you're not surprised, because I was surprised.
Yeah. So the first of all, when you go, like automatically for an emergency like checkup is $80 just for her to even look at the hedgehog.
Again, this is the vet we went to, but I would assume that most prices would be somewhat similar.
Yeah, I think they can vary from like 40 to, I think 80's on the high end. We are in Toronto, so it's going to be more expensive maybe than in other cities. And so it's 80 just for the vet to see Harley in an emergency. And then she said that like if she couldn't see the eye, she would have to do $80 worth of anesthesia just to put him down so she could relax him and look at him, because he's obviously like squirming around a bunch like he always is.
What are you doing?
So the vet...
Oh, he's pooping.
Ooh, all right. While Harley uses the washroom. So at the vet, she basically said it was surgery, or she can give us antibiotics and painkillers, and the eye will shrivel up and he can scratch it out. And that's the same thing I read online, which I knew I was not prepared for.
We didn't want to have to go through that. Plus, to me, that felt like putting my hedgehog through pain.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't seem nice to me either, so we didn't want to
to see that. That just seemed like the whole thing was like dramatic.
It's a cheaper alternative, but I don't think that we could have gone through that.
It was definitely cheaper. So if you are worried about money, it seemed like online that was a way that many people went, but we opted for the surgery. So originally it was a $1,200 estimate for the surgery, which I was like, whoa, can we like keep it under $1,000? So if you actually go through and you need to do this, don't ever say yes right away just because it's your hedgehog or your pet or anything. You have to like look through the list. And when I looked through the list, I got her to explain every single thing on the list, because there's like 15 things that she's charging you for.
And a lot of them are very, like, medically named.
Oh, yeah.
So
Some of them are, like, expenses. And I'm like, what does that mean? And she's like, if I need to administer, like, extra medicine during the operation, there's $100 there that you, like, might get back if I don't need to use that. And I was like, okay, that's fair. Like, if you need to use emergency drugs on Harley, you can.
Yeah.
But basically the things we opted out of was the...
one was a biopsy to test for cancer if there was any tumors behind the eye. But at that point, it's kind of like, if he does have cancer, there's really not too much to be done. And if he doesn't have cancer, great. So it's not like the biopsy would really help us too much in the future.
Yeah. And the other one was blood work. And that's kind of like, it's going to come back and say, your hedgehog's healthy, your hedgehog is not healthy, he needs more iron, needs less fat. It's like, you know, I think Harley's doing well, he's very happy, he's very healthy, his weight's fine. So we decided to opt out of that too.
Just because it was so expensive for a simple blood test.
So in the end, the total was $880. So that's down a lot from our original quote of $1,200. So make sure you do go through that list with your vet and cross off anything that you don't think is necessary. And even she agreed. She wasn't like, oh, I think you should really get that. She was like, okay, I understand. She understands that.
I think they just want to give you all the possible options. Not that you need them, but just so that they're out there if you did want them.
Exactly. So some of the charges were obviously the emergency exam as soon as we got there. The hospitalization and like him staying in the vet for the whole day because he was there to get the surgery and while I was at work. Oral medication because they had to feed him food and stuff that day because he just had surgery. Sedation, local anesthetic, so they put anesthetic by his eyes so it was specifically frozen and he couldn't feel that, not just putting his whole body to sleep.
Yeah,
they did both. So the last things are the medications that the vet gave us. So there's an antibiotic and a painkiller. And these are actually honey and apple flavored.
Which is crazy. I'm like, that's so amazing that you guys care about, you know, hedgehog's taste. Like,
yeah.
That's
we
great.
don't even get good tasting medicine anymore.
No, we don't.
But I think he really liked the honey one the best. But anyway, so you get it in this syringe and it's really small amounts, like
so tiny.
Like this much and then this much for the other one. But it's gonna be different, I think, per vet.
You can either then go ahead and try and put it on his food and see if he'll eat it from there, or you can just directly feed it to him, which we kind of ended up.
Yeah,
we ended up doing that.
You just kind of like put it in his mouth, shove it in, and then I let him I put him upright so that he can
just like taste it, and then ends up because it's so little, like it'll get into him.
Yeah, you know how they stick out their tongue and lick everything, anyways. But yeah, so we had to do that for 10 days, twice a day, once in the morning, once at night.
So the recovery process was actually surprisingly very fast. I was really impressed. The first 1 or 2 days, it still obviously looked like there was an incision and there had been surgery done. But then after that, it healed extremely quickly and we couldn't even tell anything really happened. I mean, besides the obvious fact that he is down to one eye. It looked really good. Not anything like gruesome in any way at all.
Yeah.
The good thing is the vet actually did it so that the stitches were on the inside of his skin, so you couldn't even see any stitches ever, which is great. Because I know personally for me, stitches are not something that I really enjoy seeing, so it was good to not have to see that.
Yeah. So we took these clips throughout the process of him healing almost every day, up until I think day 5 or so.
Which by that time it was almost completely healed, which is great.
Yeah. And then for him drinking and eating, we found that he wasn't eating his full pellets of kibble, so we cut them up into pieces. It just made it easier for him to eat it. I think he was a little bit weak and disoriented, obviously.
Yeah.
Now he's back to eating his full pellets, but I'm just keeping an eye on it, making sure he is still eating. And the water spout definitely took that thing out of there.
Just because we think that might have been the cause of the injury. I'm not sure. I'm not going to tell you guys to not get that for your hedgehog if you're thinking about getting one. Because, I mean, he was fine for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So right now we're just putting water in like a tiny shallow bowl for him, and he seems to like that.
Yeah, it's definitely working out.
So after the 10 days were done and we had given him all of his medication and everything, we went for a follow-up appointment at the vet. We pretty much just brought him in. The vet looked at him like super quick and was like, yeah, everything looks good, looks healthy, looks great, healed well. He lost a little bit of weight during the healing process just because he was sick. Obviously, you know, everyone loses weight when they're not feeling well.
Yeah.
But he had gained the weight back and everything looked great. And she was like, yeah, he's fine. He should be good for the rest of his life pretty much.
Choose the words perfect.
Yeah, he's a perfect little hedgehog.
Perfect hedgehog.
So we have him home now, obviously, and he is just doing great.
Yeah. All right, so this is our little Harley now, our one-eyed Harley. We will do some close-ups when he pokes his little head out.
But I think he is equally as cute now, if not cuter.
Yeah, he's our little pirate, or our little Popeye.
We also have more informational videos that we've done on hedgehogs before, so if you just want to know more about what it's like to have a hedgehog and all that stuff, we will link those videos for you below in the description.
Yeah. So that was our experience with a hedgehog with an eye injury. Hopefully it helped any of you that are going through a similar situation. I hope that's not anyone.
I hope that you don't have to go through that, because obviously it was
not fun.
Not fun. It was sad. I felt bad for him, obviously, because he's so cute. Don't want to see him in pain.
Yeah.
If there is any questions about this specifically that you feel like we didn't answer, you can leave them below and we'll try and get back to you as much as we can. Obviously, you guys know we're not doctors, we're not vets. Anything that we say is just specific to our situation. So, take it as you will.
Yeah.
Apply it to your life.
And your new hedgehog.
Yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you later. Bye. Bye.